Hey, what's up everybody? It's the People's Crypto. I'm back again with another video. In this video, I'm going to be discussing Warren Buffett's interesting pivot into gold, which is completely crazy because the guy hates it. And I'm going to show you all the bashing of gold he's done over the years. And it's just so funny that now he has to seemingly do what we've all been doing, in which I've been telling everyone you should potentially be getting into gold, silver, and crypto, more specifically Bitcoin. Those are probably going to be the instruments that outperform everything moving forward because of this whole public health crisis, these forced shutdowns of economies, and so much other things that's going on with unemployment and people not being able to earn a living and, live their lives and continued like how things used to be. Please keep in mind that this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. If you're looking to make any financial investments, please seek out a financial advisor. All right, so let's jump right into it. Here's a quote from Warren Buffett from quite some time ago. And it goes on to say, and I quote, "Gold gets dug out of the ground in Africa or someplace, then we melt it down, dig another hole, bury it again, pay people to stand around guarding it. It has no utility. Anyone watching from Mars would be scratching their heads." End quote. Warren Buffett, right? So that's just, he has somewhat of a point because gold essentially is money. And he is a value investor. He likes to invest in things that will make him money. So Procter and Gamble, banking stocks, these things that pay him a dividend or pay him money that allows him to reinvest that money into his portfolio or his pocket or whatever. He just likes reoccurring income. It makes total sense. With gold, you just sit and hold on it and it appreciates in value. You do not get that dividend. You don't get that influx of money coming in month over month or quarter over quarter. So it makes total sense. When I was purchasing stocks, I was kind of following his model in terms of investing in companies that paid me a dividend. It made sense. At that particular point in time, those things made sense. However, because of this public health crisis, it doesn't work anymore because things are broken. Companies are not making money. So they can't pay out those dividends anymore. So the system has been shaken up so badly to a point where if you're trying to value invest in this stock market now, good luck, because most of these companies are either slashing dividends, they're going bankrupt. There's just so much chaos right now in the markets. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense that companies are missing earnings, but yet the stock is still sky high. It makes absolutely no sense. So it's obvious that market manipulation is occurring. The smart investors are dumping their stocks, which I'll show you in a few minutes how he has pivoted, and now he is seemingly not buying the physical metal, but he is investing in a gold mining stock company. So let's go to another article. It says, "Why Warren Buffett Hates Gold." All right, so this is from May 11, 2012. All right, I'm just going to read a little bit of it. It says Warren Buffett is an investing icon. And when he talks about the stock market, individual investors and Wall Street insiders alike take notice. But perhaps Buffett's most controversial investment advice regarding gold prices, gold bullion, gold miners, and gold ETFs simply have no place in Warren Buffett's portfolio. Isn't that funny? All right, so it also goes on to say, and to hear Buffett tell it, gold should have no place in yours either. So why does Warren Buffett hate gold so much? Well, the famous value investor has been pretty clear on this. In a word, gold is useless. All right, gold is useless. This is hilarious. This is from 2012. All right, so it goes on to say, just look at what Warren Buffett has said publicly about gold as early as 1998. Buffett was criticizing gold bugs, the Oracle of Omaha emphasized the non-productive aspect of gold in his speech at Harvard that included this gem. And I just read the quote, but I'm not going to read it again. And then it says, more recently, in 2009, he echoed these thoughts in CNBC interview. He was asked, where do you think gold will be in 5 years? And should that be part of your value investing? And it goes on to say, and I quote, I have no views as to where it will be, but the one thing I can tell you is it won't do anything between now and then except look at you. Whereas, Coca-Cola will be making money, and I think Wells Fargo will be making a lot of money, and there will be a lot, and it's a lot better to have a goose that keeps laying eggs than a goose that just sits there and eats insurance and storage and a few things like that. End quote. And that was that was one thing he said. All right, so then it goes on. There's another thing. It says in October of 2010, Warren Buffett told Ben Stein, you can take a look at all the gold that's ever been mined, and it would fill a cube 67 feet in each direction. For what it's worth, at current gold prices, you could buy all, not some, all of farmland in the United States, plus you could buy 10 Exxon Mobils, plus have 1 trillion of walking around money. Or you could just have a big cube of metal. Which would you take? Which is going to produce more value? And this is what I'm saying. He's a value investor. So he does not give a damn about gold. He just wants money and more money and more money and more money and more money. That's all he cares about. If the company is giving him dividends and providing value, that's all he cares about. But that's changing now. And because that's changing because of this whole public health crisis that we're having, ExxonMobil isn't making as much money as they were before because most planes are not flying to the tourism is completely been decimated by this whole pandemic. So they're not making as much money as they once were before. Most people are staying at home. They're not going from point A to point B to go to work. So people aren't driving like that anymore. People aren't flying from point A to point B anymore. So his whole rationale of gold, basically, it doesn't produce anything and it's just a metal. And he's changing his mind on that now. Why? Because he wants to preserve his wealth. And think about this. If Warren Buffett wants to preserve his wealth, then you should definitely be wanting to preserve your wealth as well. So you should be definitely taking a look at gold, silver, and Bitcoin, because we're going to have excuse my French, a shit hit the fan event. And it's already happening. But it's going to get worse. This is just the beginning phases of all of this. Please do not think for a moment that things will be going back to normal. That's not gonna happen. This is the new normal, and the new normal is going to look like shit. Excuse my French. But it's going to get worse. Far worse. And he knows it. So this is why he wants to add gold to his portfolio. He is not stupid. The man is not stupid. He knew this day was coming. He's been warned. He's been told. That's why for years people were, hey, what about gold? What about gold? Because gold has been increasing in value, but his value investing ideology is essentially, I just want companies to pay me money so I can make more money, and that's about it. I don't care about gold and blah, blah, blah. I don't care about it. But now things are changing because he can't get this value investing strategy he's had for decades. It's not working in this new paradigm where we have this new normal. And the new normal is forcing him to bend the knee and actually get rid of the banking stocks that he has. Most of them. I think he sold all his Goldman Sachs, and he's reducing his amount of shares in all of those other banking stocks that he has. He hasn't sold all of it, but he's reducing his shares in those banking stocks. And that should be a gigantic red flag for all of you listening. This thing is about to get really bad, and he knows it. And like I said, wealth preservation is something that he must do now, because he can easily fall off of that billionaire list if he continues to invest in these really horrible companies. And, you know, it's quite ironic because Bill Gates stepped down from his company, his board of directors, I believe. And also Bill Gates stepped down from a couple other things. So trust me, all these people who are wealthy, they all know what's going on. They're not going to, you know, tell us specifically and yell at the rooftop and say, hey, the whole financial system is crumbling down. They're not going to do that. No, they're going to move strategically in silence. And because he had to publicly, he had to disclose his financial assets, it's coming out. So it's only a matter of time. Let's take. This is another article. It's just really ridiculous. Warren Buffett hates gold, but should you still buy it? And this is from earlier this year. This guy, don't get me wrong, he's a great value investor, but he knows shit about precious metals. He knows its value because he wants to preserve his wealth. But this is just another article. Let's go. So this is what I really wanted to talk about. Warren Buffett loads up on gold stock but dumps bank shares. Now this is crazy because I've shown you he's been bashing gold for quite some time. Remember, this is the same person who said Bitcoin is rat poison squared. But guess what? All the world's governments are doing mass quantitative easing and they're printing out a ton of money. And if you've looked up the history of money, anytime governments or central banks print out a ton of money, you get a weird, strange, you get hyperinflation. It takes time. Right now we're having deflation, but over time we will have hyperinflation and it will basically cause the money to go to zero. You could look at Weimar Germany. You could look at Venezuela. You could look at so many different places where their currencies have went to zero. Zimbabwe, there's so many other places, and now it's going to happen on a global scale. If you look at some of my previous videos, I showed you the image of that Economist magazine from January 1988, where there's a bird standing over all the world's currencies and the currencies are burning, and they're basically saying there's going to be a one world currency. Now, if they continue this, that is actually definitely going to happen at some time in the future. Buffett knows this. Gates knows this. Bezos knows this. The Rothschild family knows this. They all know this. This is what's intended to happen. This is the plan. There's a coin shortage for a reason. The dollar is being unfortunately weaponized against the American people and, you know, everyone across the globe. So it's really frustrating. But these guys know what's going on. This article goes on to say Warren Buffett opened a stake in Barrick Gold in the second quarter while exiting Goldman Sachs, Burger King parent restaurant brands, and Occidental Petroleum. In the pandemic hit period, Barrick Gold stock rose late. It says Berkshire Hathaway's 13F filing also confirmed that the conglomerate fully exited 4 major U.S. stock airlines in Q2, including Delta Airlines. Berkshire bought nearly 21 million shares of gold mining giant Barrick Gold, valued at more than $563 million. Barrick Gold stock jumped 7% in the late trade on the stock market today after closing down 0.6% at $26.99. Among other notable moves, Buffett slashed stakes in JP Morgan by 61%, Wells Fargo by 26%, PNC Financial by 41%, and made similar cuts to Bancorp, MasterCard, Visa, leaving American Express unchanged. Quarterly 13F filings 13F filings with SEC late Friday showed the sales of those bank stocks contrast with more recent purchases of Bank of America stock. So there you have it. He's not stupid. Many other people are not stupid. I'm curious if more people will probably follow him into this particular stock. I would probably suggest to not do that. You're just better off getting the physical asset. As it is, I think 1 ounce is about $2,000 right now. Or you can get silver, or you can do yourself a favor and get ahead of the curve, and you could get yourself some Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other cryptocurrencies with any specific use cases. We're in a bull market. And it's gonna get crazy. Buffett, I wouldn't be surprised if he's gonna probably increase after Q3. We're gonna probably get word that he's actually dumping more money into this specific gold company because the gold prices are gonna go ridiculous. But it would probably make more sense for him to probably just load up on the physical asset. But he's a stock guy, he's a value investor, so his way of making money is he's just gonna dump more money into this particular stock. So all the mining stocks, the gold, silver mining stocks, are probably gonna do extremely well. The physical asset is just gonna even probably outperform this stock and all the other mining stocks as well, if you're gonna go in that direction. But he has to bend the knee. He has to get gold stocks. I wouldn't be surprised if he's getting the physical metal after all of those years of bashing gold. It's just ironic and funny. He wants to preserve his wealth, so he's definitely going to be making these type of investments moving forward. And something is up if he's dumping JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, a petroleum company. Like, something is up. He knows something. He knows something is definitely up because he's been bashing this thing for years. So the shit hit the fan event is coming, and this just proves it. And this is another article. This is funny. So it says, meet Warren Buffett's greatest investments that he will never make. So people really thought he would never, ever buy gold because he's been bashing it for so long. So it's really funny now that, gold prices are soaring because they're quantitative easing, printing out all this money that is eventually going to cause the dollar to be utterly worthless. And there is articles out there indicating that the Federal Reserve is working on a digital dollar or something like that with MIT students or the MIT professors. So it's out there, but it's probably already made. They're just waiting for, this banking crisis to occur. Once that banking crisis occurs, then they'll roll this out. There's no telling which direction it'll go in, but the everything bubble's gonna pop. It's only just a matter of time. He knows this. So he's loading up on these particular investments because it's gonna make him a killing. But if you have the physical asset, you'll do just as fine, if not better. And also, if you're in Bitcoin, if you're in cryptos and you're in ones with that have specific utility and that it's going to be used in the future, you're going to do excellent. You're going to do extremely well because Bitcoin will extremely outperform gold and silver. But I'll just read just some of this. It says Warren Buffett should be buying gold this year as the commodity is expected to surge in value. The stock market is expected to face turbulence, which it is. I mean, even though the price is going up, but it's all manipulated. All right. And then it says the flight to safety and constrained supply will be a catalyst for gold. All right. So it says Warren Buffett's faith in the stock market is legendary. The Oracle of Omaha has cut his teeth in the U.S. stock market and is an ardent advocate of the asset class. But there's a chance that Buffett has lost confidence in the stock market of late, which is why he should be looking at gold as an investment, and he has. It says the billionaire investor Berkshire Hathaway is reportedly sitting on more than $128 billion in cash. Buffett has gone 4 years without making a big deal, and it's not surprising to see why he may be afraid of putting in stocks. Well, it should have said putting it in stocks. But look, one here in gold, like, things are not good, people. If you have loved ones and they're in the stock market, please tell them to be careful. I sold some more stock. I'm probably going to be buying some more precious metals and some other cryptos. probably Bitcoin or something else, but it's gonna get worse. If we have another lockdown here in the States, which some states already are in lockdown mode, small business is finished. Retail, most retailers are finished. People who worked in arenas, like if you worked in Madison Square Garden, the Staples Center, the Izod Center, the Barclays Center, if you worked in any major arena, the security was laid off, the people that were concessions were laid off, the ticket agents were laid off, people in management were probably laid off because there's nothing to manage. If you're a ticket scalper, you're out of work. All of these people are no longer working, and this is in every single state. And also, this is something that's happening around the world too, because, yeah, you have people playing soccer, but there's no crowds in attendance. So there's no need for any of those people to be employed. They're all going to go broke if they haven't already, or they're potentially on the verge of becoming homeless, because if they can't make a living, then, these people are going to be homeless. Like, this thing is going to get far worse. We're probably going to have some more lockdowns because we haven't had a second wave yet of this public health crisis. I would say it, but I'm not going to say it. But yeah, YouTube, they take videos down if you say it. It's real stupid. But anyway, things are going to get worse, people. They were giving the government was giving these banks here in the States, I think, a couple billion in repo money. And this was back in, I think, September, October, and November. And I think it never stopped. How in the hell, excuse my language, are they still mismanaging all this money? It just doesn't make sense. Like, where is the money going? And then it's just really overwhelming. And then you have all these people who are out of work. If they have a mortgage, they're probably going to default on the mortgage payments. If they're renting, they're probably not paying rent. It's just too much going on right now. People are working from home, so they're not, driving as much. People are not going from one country to another country because there's like lockdowns, and many airliners have stopped flights in certain places. Here in the States, we can only, I think, go to maybe 13 or 14 different countries. So it's just really overwhelming, and it's just like too much is happening at once. And this is going to eventually lead to a shit hit the fan event, which it's going to happen in the future. And I think it may be the banks that cause this like crazy collapse that we're anticipating. I personally believe it does not matter who your elected officials are. They're all sellouts. They're not helping any people in any country, honestly. This thing is just really ridiculous, and it's really sad. It is just really too much. But yeah, just do whatever you can to protect and preserve your wealth. I definitely suggest you getting into gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Obviously, it's not investment advice. You do what's in your best interest. Look at your situation. Everyone's situation is different. So, just be very wise. Do your own research and see what would potentially help you in the future, because things is going to get extremely weird in a couple months, and even, going in a couple years. Just pay attention to what's going on. And also, one thing you should always do is follow the money. If he is doing this, if Mr. Buffett is doing this, then you should really think about how much money you have sitting in the bank, and whether it's a smart idea to leave that money in the bank, all of it, or, maybe you want to leave just enough to pay your bills, and whatever's left over, you may want to invest that money into either gold, silver, and Bitcoin, because things, unfortunately, will get worse. That's gonna probably do it for this video. Let's take a look at the cryptocurrency prices. Bitcoin is almost at $12,000. Again, Bitcoin is at $11,842.74. Ethereum is at 424.74. XRP is 30 cents. Tether is $1 as usual. Chainlink is doing exceptionally well. It's 1933. Bitcoin Cash is 305.21. Litecoin is up 63.33. Bitcoin SV is 219.05. Cardano is 14 cents. EOS is 383. Binance Coin is $23.18. Tezos is 4.24. Stellar is 11 cents. Tron is 2 cents. Monero is 90.43. Cosmos is 6.23. IOTA is 41 cents. Leo is 128. USD coin is $1, and Neo is $15.80. That is going to do it for this video. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to this on YouTube, if you're listening on Library, please share the video. If you can leave a LBC tip if you want. It's all up to you. But I appreciate it if you do share the video. Also, don't forget to check out the cryptocurrencyspace.com if you're looking for any of the cryptocurrency prices. You can also log in and set up an account and get any alerts on any of the coins, and they will not spam you. Anywho, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you, and I will see you guys and gals later.